think we're rolling. Yeah. Yeah. Right on. We are live here in Lyons, Colorado with Mr. Rob Pate.
Hello there.
How you doing?
Doing great.
Yeah. How are the tacos? Were the tacos okay?
Fantastic.
Yeah. Hold on, I got to turn off my computer. My computer was playing pre-show music. Little crazy. Rob was born in Selma, Alabama, raised in Montgomery, surrounded by the blues, jazz, funk, and gospel music of the South. Rob developed a deep reverence for down-home flavors far and wide. Does that include food as well?
Absolutely, yeah. They go hand in hand. Yeah, at any great musical get-together, there'll always be somebody there with that big grill opened up.
Yeah, we want to talk about that for sure. You spent your 30s crossing the country and touring Europe around with your band Blue Ribbon Healers.
Mm-hmm.
And was that what kind of band was that? That was a swing band or?
It was. It started out as a busking band in New Orleans and during Mardi Gras, and then I went to Florida to be with some friends, and they were friends that weren't in musical projects at the time, yet they were getting called to do gigs. So we were able to start doing gigs, and before you knew it, we were on the road. We finished off like a tourist season in Florida, then we said, heck, let's just go back to New Orleans, let's go to San Francisco, and we wound up staying on the road for 8.5 years.
Jeez. Wow. That's crazy. I just want you to check, or you're tuning right now, is that what you're doing?
Oh, I'm good.
Yeah. I just wanted to check. I hear a little guitar amp buzz, so I just want to make sure we have your level. Can you play a little bit?
Sure.
We're there. Okay, yeah, great. So I just met you recently, and we actually, this band, Ian threw this band together, right? Ian, for the Oscar Blues. I don't know what year that anniversary that was.
I was aware.
Or did you do? I don't know.
I was aware of Ian's prowess for a while, and I got called to do the Gold Hill Inn for New Year's Eve. And Ian to me was an obvious choice on the tenor.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we had a great time, and love Ian. He's awesome.
Yeah, and he's my neighbor. He's 2 doors down, so it's like, you know.
Yeah, that's a nice gig, just walking 2 doors down.
Ian's the guy who's known for riding his bike into a gig, and
true.
He's got horns on his back, and he hops off his bike, and then he hops up on stage. That's kind of his signature move, you know.
It's my shtick.
Yeah, Ian Brighton up here in Lyons. So then anyway, you moved to Colorado 2 years ago, that's right?
Yes, during the touring,
we would Kate Little.
Yeah, me and Kate were hitched.
Mm-hmm. Congratulations.
Thanks. I think I think
she's
I did
awesome.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, she's absolutely awesome. So you guys got hitched and you moved because she's from here, right?
We did. I met Kate about a dozen years ago, and about 4 years ago we had our big hookup, and then we were wondering where to land, and I was living at that time in Panama City, Florida, and had just been hit by a Category 5 hurricane.
Oh, my God.
We couldn't go there, and she wanted to get out of Lyons for a while. So that year at it's the Old Time Fiddle Festival in Weiser, Idaho, I heard a lot of blues in her playing. So I was like, let's go to Lafayette, Louisiana, where they really play the blues, and you can meet your people. And, and we spent 3 years there playing and working and doing a variety of things. But during the touring, I had come through Lyons many times and was very impressed with the amount of creative people and the quality of creative people.
Yeah, it's a small little treasure trove.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many great people here. I love how the fact that you are, it seems like you're not scared to be a nomad and to go out and experience all these things.
When you grow up in Montgomery, Alabama, you want to get out. You want to get out soon. And then I never really found my right spot. It took me a while to find my right spot.
Yeah, well, it sounds like you learned all this different music over the years. I mean, it sounds like you've done, blues, swing, jazz, you name it. Now you're doing some Brazilian kind of stuff. You're wandering into that. And
yes.
Yes, all the above.
Yeah, I really love the down home music because I love music that there's a living, breathing culture involved. There's dancing and food and composition and the history and that kind of thing. It really attracts me to learning about a culture and being part of it. So that's why yeah, that's probably why I did a lot of the traveling. I wanted to go places
Yeah.
and soak up a little bit of everything.
Absolutely. Well, maybe we should play a song, and because we're here to hang out and talk and play songs, right?
Yeah.
So what do we have on tap?
Let's play. It's a standard. It's a Tampa Red standard called Rambler's Blues. It's in G.
All right. Do you want to count us into that one? Or
Sure will.
Cool.
A 1, 2, 3. I got a mind to ramble, got a mind to leave this town. I got a mind to ramble, got a mind to leave this town. And if I don't go to Memphis, I'll be Alabama bound. Oh, I hate to hear that whistle blow his horn. Yes, I hate to hear that whistle blow his horn. Every time I hear it blowing, I feel like riding too. I got a mind to ramble, got a mind to leave this town. I got a mind to ramble, got a mind to leave this town. And if I don't go to Memphis, I'll be Alabama bound. Hello, baby, I had to call you on the phone. Said hello, baby, I had to call you on the phone. I'm here today, tomorrow I may be gone. If you wanna come over, tell all of our friends the news. If you wanna come over, call all of our friends the news. I was just so blue and lonesome, had them Rambler blues. I got a mind to ramble, got a mind to leave this town. Got a mind to ramble, got a mind to leave this town. And if I don't go to Memphis, I'll be Alabama bound. And if I don't go to Memphis, I'll be Alabama bound. Thanks.
Yeah, it sounds like you're from down there. So why don't you just kind of give us the how you discovered music, all that kind of stuff. Like you were a kid, I take it. Were you in a musical family?
My dad was a creative person. He liked to do abstract painting. He was a rural farm boy from Tuscaloosa. My mom was both of her parents were Italian immigrants. She grew up in New York, and they decided to raise us in Alabama, which was a good blend of influences in Alabama. Because there's it's Alabama. You have to learn to duck a lot of the stuff that's flying through the air.
Yeah.
You learn to duck early, and you're good.
Hey, kid.
So yes, one day we had this old rickety piano in the house, and the ice cream man came driving by playing the Entertainer by Scott Joplin.
Oh yeah.
And I went over to the piano and pecked it out, and it was kind of reinforced a feeling that I had that I liked music, I love music, and could do music. So that was kind of my first experience of my own self-positive reinforcement.
That's awesome.
Telling your parents you're going to be a musician,
that's tough. Huh?
might as well be telling them you're going to walk to the moon.
So what are some of those artists that that you heard in the household, or things that influenced you early, and your growth from there?
Yes, on Sunday on public access TV from like 10 to 2, you get black gospel music on the TV, and you get to watch the mass and the funk band behind the deacon, and it goes on and on and on for 4 hours. These things go. There might be 2 different congregations, but there's definitely a lot of blues. When I grew up, it was like pop music was like coming in, but I was always interested in the older styles of music just naturally. There's some really good jazz clubs in Montgomery. It's right on the interstate in between New Orleans and Atlanta. So
How far away from New Orleans?
It's probably 6 hours, and then it's another 3 hours to Atlanta, and you get touring musicians. Back in the day, they would come through on the Chitlin circuit, and once music was much more integrated, that kind of went away. And but yes, you would get musicians coming from New Orleans. We had any number of musicians. There was Branford Marsalis came and played at barbecue joints on his way to Atlanta from.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was you'd get all kinds of stuff like that, and then it's Montgomery. We had a mayor that didn't let us have live music for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, and so music is something that was in Montgomery is kind of like a sacred thing where it happens in church and in jazz clubs and stuff like that. But it really was, people had to fight to keep the music going.
Wow.
In Montgomery against systemic odds.
How long was that?
He was voted out in 1999, 2000.
That recent?
Yes, he was the mayor for like 40 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, so you're saying for 40 years? Like, or for a period of time, like over 20 years?
Yes, Mayor Emery Fulmer. He was he was a nutty guy, and he didn't want rock and roll coming in. He didn't want music. He didn't want kids being influenced by music. And
but what it was, so it was like all music. Like there was no classical, there was no religious music, or was it? He just wanted his kind.
There was a pretty below average symphony orchestra in Montgomery.
Sure.
There was church music, and it was mostly white music. He didn't want white kids influenced by music that was coming in.
Right.
And so, blacks had a thriving musical culture, and we just kind of like went to it.
Absolutely. Made you feel something.
Yeah, every time.
Well, with that, maybe we should feel something and play another song, huh?
Yeah, let's do a Cajun-inspired tune.
Okay.
Let's do the Black Pot Boogie.
Sounds good.
This is going to be an F.
I think I had a little. Give me the feel for just a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. 1, 2. So here we go. Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3.
Shaking off of your bones. Born and raised way down south,
been out in time. Go, man. One more. Hey, my old man said go and draw your pay. Pile it up, fill your cup, throw it into the air. Knock the dust off your hat, maybe shine your shoes. I ain't found no better way to boogie away these blues.
Yeah, Ian. Love that last little note. Ian Brighton, everybody. Ian Brighton, everybody.
You know what I like about that tune is that I lived a spell in Costa Rica.
Oh, you did? I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
Yeah, and
What town?
this tiny little town just south or just north of Puerto Viejo, and
Okay.
yeah, called Cahuita, and it was a total calypso town.
Uh-huh.
It was a lot of Caribbean calypso music, and that song kind of brings me to that place. I love it.
Yeah, thanks, Ian. You do
that
a
was
great
fun.
job on it.
That was fun. So all these bags come into you. What did you decide? Like, what whole rabbit hole did you decide to go down? Like, when you were in your teens, were you like into rock things, or were you into blues, or were you into? I'm just curious. You know, like, when did you decide to go down these different holes to learn this different music that kind of
sure.
shapes who you are?
Yep. My first concert was the Fat Boys, New Edition, and Houdini at the Garrett Coliseum in Montgomery, and it was wild. You know, I was in third grade. My mom brought me and my older sister and her two friends, and then I was in the seventh grade, and the girl that I had a crush on came in with a Grateful Dead shirt on.
Uh-oh.
And I started talking to her and asking her about it. And she had some older brothers that were already into music and stuff.
Sure.
So coincidentally, I went to the music store and got some Grateful Dead tapes and stuff. And she was in there. So we got to talk more about it. So I
okay.
was like, oh, this is just fate. And then I realized she didn't like me. She was just being nice and sharing the culture with me. But started listening to Dead, started learning how to play the Hendrix licks and the Zeppelin licks and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
And then it was, I guess, probably I was 20, and I got into playing old-time music and some of the older bluegrass stuff like the Lester Flatt, Earl Scruggs, and Mac Wiseman. And I found a great discipline in the bluegrass music. And we had a fiddle player that was living with us that got into Texas swing.
Oh.
And I had been trying to figure out how to play jazz and all kinds of stuff, and it was just way over my head as a 19-year-old.
Sure.
It wasn't my background, and I just struggled and struggled. And then I started playing this Texas swing stuff that had all the passing chords and the changes of the rudimentary diatonic stuff. And then it started clicking, and I started playing the New Orleans stuff. I started playing the Django stuff, and I was like, wow, this is cool. And then my path into like ballads and stuff softened. But that was kind of the rabbit hole, the Texas swing,
Okay.
New Orleans sound.
Wow. Wow, it just takes you around the world.
Yeah, it sure does. And then when I discovered Django Reinhardt, it was I realized the importance of the confluence of different traditions into each other to form this new style, which is how jazz came about and how the Brazilian music came about. It's a confluence of different traditions that existed insular of each other, but found their way.
Somebody borrowed from here, somebody borrowed from there. Next thing you know,
you have a prism and light just coming right out of it.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. Well, what do we have? What do we have next? Do we have another song here?
Yeah, let's do Please Don't Talk About Me When I'm Gone in G.
Do you want to count us into this one?
Sure will.
We're going to do these little hits at the top. Is that our plan?
That's it.
Okay.
1, 2, 3. Oh, please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, our friendship ceases from now on. And if you can't say anything real nice, better not to talk at all. That's my advice. We're parting, you go your way, I'll go mine. It's best we do. Here's a kiss, I hope that this brings lots of luck to you. But it makes no difference how I carry on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Oh, please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Though our friendship ceases from now on. And if you can't say anything real nice, better not to talk at all. That's my advice. We're parting, you go your way and I'll go mine. It's best we do. as luck to you. Well, it makes no difference how I carry on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone. Well, it makes no difference how I carry on. Please don't talk about me when I'm gone.
All right, so your voice, I mean, it just totally reminds me of the old time. How did you pick up your influence for your voice? Because the first time I heard you when we played that gig the other night, it was just like, whoa, this guy is like, anyway.
I guess I always loved that voice because it was it kind of embodied a character, and I don't really have a naturally like pretty voice, but I always related to that sound of that voice. It made me feel comfortable to sing that way. And when I was in San Francisco living and busking and figuring out how to live there, I met a young guy, and if I can give him a shout out, he's got a great band out of Bellingham, Washington. Pete Irving, they call him Stinky Pete, and his band is Hot Damn Scandal, and in my opinion, they're one of the best young bands, and they play an old time music, but they write everything, and their stuff is so good. So I met him, and we had a similar kind of vocal style, so we would just tramp around San Francisco all night long singing tunes.
Wow.
And it's stuck. People seem to like it, and I was like, okay, cool.
Yeah, I mean, it's so cool. It is so reminiscent of the old school stuff, that you hear on the little. Well, now you hear it on YouTube, but when you were a kid, you heard it, on a little 45 or something like that.
Yeah, Louis Armstrong and Louis Prima, but also like Leon Redbone, who like lived in a different era than that, but to me is so much embedded in the real, authentic fabric of that music. He's a real guy. And Tom Waits, of course. I love lyrics and imaginative songwriting. So there's a lot of advocates for that character, and I like it.
So let's talk about your band again, the one that went to Europe. I'm spacing the name. Sorry.
The Blue Ribbon Healers.
Yeah. Can you just kind of take us on a little journey on how you decided to go to Europe, and then did you stay there for months at a time, or did you come back and forth? Can you just tell us a little bit about that era? Because it sounds like it was a big era. It was 8 years, right?
It was. It's a funny story how we wound up there. We were in San Francisco with the full band, and we had taken a few days off. We were going down to Santa Cruz to busk and have fun. And we were playing, at that time, a lot of Balkan music and Eastern European music with a mandolin, guitar, and bass. And on the next corner was an accordion, trumpet, and a guitar, and they were playing Balkan music too. And so we walked down to the other corner, and we're like, hey, do you know this tune? They were like, yeah, we know that tune. Let's play it. So we like, do you know that tune? Yeah, we know that tune. So we played it. So we wound up having like, snap of a finger, we had a 6-piece Balkan band on the corner of Santa Cruz, and they're very encouraging of busking. They have busking areas and stuff. And so that night we went to their house and partied all night and made really nice friends. And then we were in New Orleans meeting up with these same people. And the guitar player, Scott Stobie, said, why don't you come to Europe with us? And we were like, cool. So we didn't think anything more about it. And then he sent us an email with all the dates. And we're like, well, we better get tickets because this is
going to happen.
This is going on, yeah. And it spanned 3 months. The first time we were there, we had like 50 dates.
Wow.
And they were great venues. We played an old dungeon that Julius Caesar and his army had built.
Oh my God!
In Zaragoza, that they had converted into a bar. We played in.
I want to play a dungeon in Europe.
It's
Don't you, Ian?
I can get you the hookup. They so appreciate people coming over there and playing music for them.
Yeah.
They showed us the most sublime hospitality. We played cities and rural areas and where they make the cheese and the meat and the wine. And it was They really thought it was they thought it was enough that we came over there to play for them, that they should treat us with a lot of love and kindness. It was so
Wow.
we wound up going over there 2 other times for the same amount of time, basically the same tour.
Wow. So you do the dungeon. So where other places did you go in Europe? I mean, like, can you name a few of the countries and a few of the other sites that you?
For sure, we played. We played in the 13th century. There was a bull stable that had been built. It was stone and it had big wooden beams and everything, and that had been converted into a bar. But out in front there was a little stone where it had been etched out what year it was built, Siglo, 13, and that was pretty cool. We played some festivals out there. We played a great festival called the Festival de los Gatos in Santiago, and it was just in a big, wide alleyway, and they had the stage set up and the sound.
Yeah.
And we were doing Brazilian music at that time, and in the middle of the show, this Brazilian drum band comes up and sits right at the stage and starts rocking with us. It was just amazing.
So what were the styles in that? I mean, you started off Balkan.
We started off
Or
Texas swing, kinda.
Texas swing. So when you met those guys back in New Orleans, you're like, hey, let's do this Texas swing stuff over there? Is that what?
We did. It was a pretty wide variety of stuff. We were doing a Django repertoire and the New Orleans repertoire, original music, and Balkan music.
Wow. Sounds fun, man.
It was great. And we started the band. It was a total DIY thing. We pretty much had a punk aesthetic. We were literate musicians, but our aesthetic was pretty to the core punk sensibilities.
So you weren't wearing suits?
We weren't. Sometimes, but not usually. No, it was really, it was the aesthetic. You know what I mean? It was like where we were coming from in our heads was punk.
Nice.
Now, music didn't reflect where we were coming from, but
Right.
busking and and traveling without an agent and doing all our own management and that kind of thing. So
Sleeping on floors?
many sleeping in bushes.
Bushes?
No, I'm just kidding.
Well, cool. Let's play another tune.
Cool.
And kind of hear more about your life. And we'll talk to this bass player here in a second.
You all want to do Stranger Blues?
Let's do it.
So we're
Is
gonna.
that Plenty Blues?
Yes. And we'll start with the last 4. You got to bring us in? I want to. 1, 2, 3. I'm a stranger here. I just rode in your town. I'm a stranger here. I just blow in your town. And just because I'm a stranger, you don't have to dog me round. I wonder why some people dog a poor stranger so. I wonder why some people dog a poor stranger so. Well, they got to remember, we're gonna reap what we sow. I wonder, do my good gal know I'm here? I wonder, do my good gal know I'm here? Well, if she do, she sure don't seem to care. South, if I wear 99 pair of shoes, I'm going down south if I wear a 99 pair of shoes. And I know I won't be a stranger, have no stranger blues. I'm a stranger here, just blowed in your town. I'm a stranger here, just rolled in your town. Just because I'm a stranger, you don't have to dog me round. And just because I'm a stranger, you don't have to dog me round.
These tunes are great. Can we just play these all night?
I love these tunes.
I want to talk to the bass player here for a second because I only met him recently. And why don't you figure out some more songs for us to play, because I know that we don't really have a whole lot on the list.
Sure will.
Does that buy us some time, Brian?
Sure, that's good. We
don't
need much time.
Yeah, we don't need much time. But you can look at or kind of talk into the microphone, I guess, so you can get over there closer to it. Yeah, I make it so hard for you because you got to step on a button and then
lean over,
and then you got to lean over and then you can't even look at me.
It's all right.
So I just met you, I don't know, a few weeks back. Brian Pierce, you currently live in Longmont, is that right?
No, I live in Pinewood Springs.
Oh, Pinewood Springs, just up the hill.
the hill from Lyons, and so our address is Lyons.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And how long you been there?
So 11 months.
Oh, that's it.
Yeah, and so happy to be here in Lyons. It's just been great fun so far.
Awesome.
I was invited to play in a band with Ian a few years ago during the pandemic, and it was just a great connection. And Ian, and
if anyone knows Lyons, they know that Ian is the conduit for every musical thing that's going on in Lyons.
That's kind of true. Yeah,
he's the guy who's out there, and he's like, okay, you guys, okay, come over here, and you guys do that. Yeah.
And so I was invited to play in that band, and then those guys invited me to come live in Lyons.
Oh my God,
That's true. I'm a big cheerleader.
And then the opportunity happened, and we came out.
Wow, that's great. And so from where were you living before that?
In Louisville, Colorado.
Okay. Yeah. And then but you said you went to Kansas.
I went to the University of Kansas, for college and for my bachelor's, and got a technology degree.
Yep.
But studied as much jazz as I could at the time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then, so how long, were you in Kansas, kind of the whole time, or did you bounce around the states?
Well, I grew up in Kansas City, Missouri, and went to school in Kansas. And
did you ever go to the Hurricane?
Yes, the Hurricane in Westport.
I used
went
to
there
play
many
the Hurricane.
times. Stumbled home from there a few times.
Yeah. That place was so weird because it stayed open till 4 a.m. or something.
Yeah,
it was really
crazy place. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the bands. I don't remember what time the bands stopped playing, but I just remember touring through there and playing there a couple of times, 2 or 3 times, and it was wow, there's doctors and nurses hanging out here, and it's 3:30 in the morning, and they're ordering hard drinks.
There you go. That's it.
Is that place still around or no?
I think the Hurricane is gone. I could be wrong, but I think it is.
Yeah. And then I was trying to remember some of the other venues we played there over time. Sandstone Amphitheater at one point. I don't know if that's still called that, but
I don't think it is, but I've been there many times.
Yeah. And so you were there, and then how did you end up out this direction?
Well, I met my wife in Kansas City, who's from Colorado.
Oh, okay.
I basically followed her around when she was getting advanced degrees in various colleges, and now she landed her dream job at CU Boulder, University of Colorado in Boulder, and so we've been here for 18 years since. So,
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Lions. That's all I can say.
Yeah.
It's great to have you here and
Glad we're here.
get to know you and play music and hang
Yeah.
out. And Rob, what do you got for us? You have anything for us on tap?
Yeah, let's do I Wonder Where My Easy Rider Gone.
Oh, Ian's got the glasses on for this one. I love it.
You like these?
Yeah.
He's Brian. Blues guy now.
You're a true blues. You need a hat now. Wait.
I know. Well, I can't. I
Can't
brought
get
a
the hat
sweet
on.
Oh yeah,
hat,
you brought a
but-
sweet hat, but those earphones are.
But yeah,
pain.
you can't do the thing. But yeah,
Maybe you could just throw it on top.
I tried that. Yeah, it's not pretty.
All right. So we know what we're playing, kind of, and someone's going to count us in, I guess.
Yep. You good, Brian?
Last 8.
Yeah, just play a couple of bars so I know what feel it is, and then we'll jump in. Oh, there we go.
So it's gonna be right from the top. I wonder where my easy rider gone. I wonder where my easy rider gone. She's out there having fun, just like anyone, slinging those dice when the old work day is done. Just can't keep them shaking them weary blues. I got them so bad I don't know what to do. I look everywhere, I see hide nor hair. I wonder where my easy rider gone.
them dice when the old work day is done. I just can't keep from shaking those weary blues. I got 'em so bad I don't know what to do. I look everywhere, I see hide nor hair. I wonder where my easy rider gone. Take me home.
Nice, Ian.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Let's talk to that guy with the glasses on.
You want to talk to me?
Yeah, I want to talk to you. He's my neighbor over here. Everybody knows him and loves him. Ian Brighton here in Lyons.
Thank you, Brian.
So you are not just a horn player. You play percussion. You play keyboards. You do all kinds of stuff. Tell us about your deal.
My deal? What is my deal?
You just like to play music.
and
it doesn't matter like what you're playing, right?
This is the truth. Yeah. I like playing bluegrass. I don't know really how to play bluegrass, but I like to play bluegrass. I like for instance. But yeah, I think my musical kind of start was in the jazz funk world, and I grew up just down the street in Niwot, Colorado. And we had a real like tight connection of friends, fellow friends who were really into music, and many of them have gone on to become renowned musicians. Like John Grigsby is a good friend of mine.
Absolutely.
He's the bass player, and Gregory Alan Isaacoff and is incredible, and Patrick
quite
Lee
an
and
animator as well.
Yes, yeah. I mean, so I was in a band with him called Analog Quartet. And
I remember that.
You remember Analog Quartet?
Yeah, absolutely.
And so we played kind of we were the young kids playing the local Boulder jazz scene for a while. And then from then I played in a band called Samba Dende for many years.
Yes.
And we had a running gig for 12 years straight at the St. Julian Hotel.
Wow.
And that's where the percussion came in for me. That's where I learned how to do it. We went to Brazil together as a band, and that was amazing. And then, I moved to Lyons, and our lead singer and guitar player Chico Mera moved off to Brazil and in Samba Dende. So he
was here for a little bit, right?
He was here for a long time.
Yeah.
He was in several bands, Pau Brazil, and but Samba Dende I think was the longest. Yeah, and so we're on hiatus. I think of it as a hiatus,
right?
But
it's gonna come back.
It'll come back totally. But I'm here now playing with Rob and just having a ball and doing all sorts of I love to ride my bike to gigs in Lyons. So if anyone in Lyons wants a saxophone player, I'll always play 3 songs. It doesn't. You don't have to pay.
You get
me.
3 songs.
You get 3 songs, and then I'm gonna.
If I show up on a bike.
Yeah.
And is there a 2-drink minimum, or how does that work?
And a drinking ticket it's not necessary, but it's a nice gesture, anyways. But so that's my deal.
And then you're playing with Michelle Castro, is that right?
Yeah, Michelle
She's
Castro.
amazing.
Is so incredible. Thank you. Yes, she is. So that's my Brazilian connection, and I'm still playing quite a bit with her. Go look her up because we're playing soon in Denver at the Roxy.
Okay.
And she's such an amazing band.
Yeah, it's just right near
on Broadway, isn't
bar.
it? Yeah, it's.
Well,
in
there's
Denver.
2 of them actually.
Okay. I don't know very well.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm not the guy to ask. But go to her website and look that up and come see us in Denver.
Yeah, absolutely. She's amazing. Yeah, but you have this. I mean, I wonder the music that's playing in your house, is it Brazilian most of the time?
No, I have 2 little boys, so it's a lot. I listen to a lot of Baby Shark. Really sick of that song. Yeah, I consume a lot of children's music at the moment, Brian. But I hang in there. But I listen to like funk and hip hop, and it's a big mix. This town is so into folk and bluegrass. We listen to everything, and surprisingly, it's Brazilian gets in there, but it's not always there.
Right.
It's a wide variety. So yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for walking over 2 houses.
It was really
hard to make the gig over here.
Brian, I want to say one thing: is you were the only person other than Dave Watts who I knew when I moved to this town.
Oh yeah. I'm
Yeah.
old school.
Yeah,
I'm old school.
It's nice
for
we
sure.
had that connection because we first played together in Chow Eden. Remember that?
Oh yeah, Brian Shea.
Yeah, Brian Shea's musical.
Brian Shea, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
we did that, and with Kim was on that, right?
That's
And-
how I got my nickname, the Beaver.
Yeah.
It's from-
Oh, really? I didn't know. Yeah, Ian Brighton's nickname is the Beaver. Cool. Well, let's play. Are we gonna? Chow Eden played swing, right?
Yeah, we did. That was.
Wait,
super
is there a song that this band could play that Chow Eden played?
I don't know. We should
It
get
was
Brian
pretty-
Shea on this
it
next
was
time.
Yeah, definitely. We had some logistical things tonight, so we weren't able to pull that off. But, man, what was the French one?
Oh yeah, La Vie en Rose.
I can't remember.
I
There
think
was
it
a-
was La Vie
Anyway.
en Rose. Yeah.
Let's jump back to Rob and see what he wants to play.
Oh, I'm good.
Rob,
I'm
Rob,
fine.
you're the guy tonight.
I just found out there's 2 Roxy's in Denver. I was
There's one on Welton.
Welton and
Or no, is that the Fox Theater? I'm trying to remember. What's the one that's
No,
south of
it's-
Cervantes?
it's the Roxy. The Roxy's on
There's a
Welton.
Roxy there. I played the jazz festival last year with Wellington Bowlings, and we played in that room, which was really, really cool. I saw this great Brazilian guitar player guy who comes into town. He plays with keyboard player guy. Anyway, it was awesome.
Victor Maestas.
No, a different guy, Peter. Anyway, blah blah blah. But I think that there's a Roxy on Broadway and on over by Cervantes. So.
Yes. Yeah, I was on my way to play at the Roxy on Broadway. I'd never played there, and I had my phone had 3% left on the battery, and I wound up at the Roxy on Welton. And I was at the wrong Roxy, and my phone went dead. And they were like, "Well, they told me how to get there." So
Where is the Roxy on Broadway? Just so I know.
it's all the way down, almost to the interstate.
All the way down to 25, so just north of Herman's Hideaway.
Yes, it's all the way down the end of Broadway, right by the 25.
Okay. Good to know.
Next block over.
All right. Cool. What do you want to play?
Let's do Some of These Days.
All right. Give us a little groove. Is it just straight up swing like we've been doing? Or?
This is a straight up swing.
All right.
Sorry
Sounds
about that. I haven't found.
Brian's taking a look through the
Sorry,
book
sorry.
here. No worries.
So it should be on the right side at the very bottom. It's towards the front too. It should be in the first 6 or so pages.
Rob's chart books are unlike anything I've ever seen in my life, and this is the truth. He's got amazing illustrations. Rob is a multifaceted
That's right.
artist over here.
Got the backside of a dog on one page.
I love that. Last week, I had a guy here he would draw a picture of you on the set list,
Oh yeah.
And that was really, really fun. It was like, it's just, it's cool. I don't have any of those skills, so
No,
I enjoy them.
But you bang those things over there.
But I
pretty
hit
good.
these things, and I know how to kind of talk too much. So, should we play?
Sure.
All right, you want to kick us off?
We'll leave it to Beaver. Bring us in.
All right, what about our buddy Brian? Have you got your chart ready, bud?
Got it.
Brian says he's good.
All right.
Ready to
Got
roll.
it.
We'll bring it in on the last 8.
Yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Some of these days, gonna miss me, baby. Some of these days, gonna be so lonely. Gonna miss my hugging, gonna miss my kissing. As you'll miss your baby when you're far away. Be so lonely, for me only. Ah, but honey, you had your word. When you leave me, it's gonna grieve me. Mama gonna miss your baby, miss your lover when you're gone.
Some of these days, gonna miss me, baby. Some of these days, gonna be so lonely. Gonna miss my hugging, miss my kissing. Miss me, baby, when you're far away. I'll be so lonely, for me only. Ah, but honey, you had your way. When you leave me, it's gonna grieve me. Gonna miss your baby when you're gone.
Keep them coming. Keep them coming. These tunes they're just fun.
Yeah,
They're just bouncy and
There was a couple of great writers in New Orleans, Clarence Williams and Spencer Williams, who wrote a lot of this material. Their auntie was Lulu, the actual
Lulu.
Madame Lulu, who Lulu's Back in Town is about.
Uh-huh.
She owned the Mahogany Hall, which was a social establishment in Storyville.
Wow.
So if we know Storyville, that was where the magic happened.
Nice. Do you have any more songs about Lulu?
I haven't played Lulu's Back in Town in a little while. It's a pretty easy tune, but we won't. Let's see, what else do we have in the book? How about towards the end of the...
Please don't talk about me.
We did
when
that
I'm
one.
gone.
Did that. What about towards the back? There's a song called "I Don't Know Why I Love You, But I Do."
And what era is that from?
This is a song. It's a swing. It sounds like it's 1,000 years old, but a guy named Bobby Charles wrote this song. Bobby Charles is a famous guy in Louisiana. He was from Abbeville. He wrote the song down south in New Orleans, "Prettiest Girl I've Ever Seen." He wrote that one. He wrote "Save Me Jesus," which is a great rockin' anti-establishment kind of. He wrote "Walking to New Orleans" for Fats Domino, and great musician, Bobby Charles. But he was also on the Last Waltz with the band. But very little known. He didn't seek, he didn't
seek fame or anything.
No, he just loved to write. He didn't even perform after the '60s. I think he just liked to write and be in the studio and stuff.
Wow.
But he wrote this really, really pretty song called "I Don't Know Why I Love You, But I Do." Cool, and we'll go right from the top.
Right on.
It's in G. I want to. I don't know why I love you, but I do. I don't know why I cry so, but I do. I just know that I'm lonely and that I want you only. I don't know why I love you, but I do. I can't sleep nights because I feel so restless. I don't know what to do, I feel so helpless. Since you went away, I'm blue both night and day. I don't know why I love you, but I do. My days have been so lonely, my nights have been so blue. I don't know how I stand it, but I do.
I sit alone and tell myself that I will fall in love with someone else. I know I'm wasting time, but it helps me clear my mind. I don't know why I love you, but I do. Have been so lonely, my nights have been so blue. I don't know how I stand it, but I do. Each night I sit alone and tell myself that I will fall in love with someone else. They say I'm wasting my time, but I got to clear my mind. I don't know why I love you, but I do. I don't know why I love you, but I do. I don't know why I love you, but I do.
Your voice is so soothing.
Oh, thank you, Brian. It's
It's like a nice soft sofa.
it's a pack and a half American Spirits and a lot of throat coat tea.
American Spirits and throat coat. I love that. So I want to talk about your swing group that you're playing Sundays with in town.
Yes.
Because you're playing with some old timers that have been around that have been doing this music for a long time. And can you kind of talk about them and talk about the project that you're doing?
Sure. It started out also with me and Ian hatching an idea that we wanted to have a swing jam on Sundays, especially early on Sunday, where musicians would work Friday and Saturdays and have if they didn't have something on Sunday, they could swing in and have a nice chill hang.
Yeah.
And it could bring swing musicians together and get swing musicians who don't normally play together the chance to hang out in a very casual acoustic setting.
Yeah.
And get to play with each other. And so we ran it by the folks at Spirit Hound, and they were just like, sure, come on
Craig,
by.
he's awesome.
Craig is so awesome.
Yeah.
Amanda, Sam.
Amanda's awesome. Yeah.
And they've been absolutely welcoming and encouraging towards it. So we got in there, and it was fun. Brian was at the first one.
Brian Shea, yeah.
Brian Shea and Brian Pierce.
Yes, all the Bryans.
Those are my invites, by the way.
It is. It's not a jam. It's kind of an invite-only little set.
Yeah.
But it's real loose. If you're interested in it, I go to the person and rehearse them and figure out some stuff that we can do on the Sunday and have fun. And then since then, it's been every other Sunday. Sometimes we've done every Sunday if we have something special coming up. But it's been a different band every time. And it's just a whole bunch of fun. We have fiddles and saxophones and clarinets. The two guys that I really was interested in bringing there were Dwayne Webster and Bill Ponarelli, who they've been playing jazz around these mountains for like 50 years. So good, and they know so much material and have so much to share and are very inclined to do so. So, yeah, we've been having a great time there doing that.
And so this is on Sundays at the distillery, which for people from all over the world who have never been to Lyons. We have a great distillery in town.
Ooh.
And so this is on Sundays at 4. What time is it?
3 to 6.
3 to 6.
Best whiskey in the world.
Best whiskey, and they've won multiple awards.
Yep.
I really love the bourbon myself. I'm a bourbon guy, and they're known for their gin.
Gin's exquisite.
Yeah, I mean, what's your favorite thing over there, Ian?
I mean, I'm partial to the whiskey, but a nice gin and tonic with some Spirit Hound gin is ain't too shabby this time of year.
Yeah. And there's such nice people over there for sure.
Yeah, they've been so supportive of music, Craig and Amanda.
Well, we gotta give them a plug because not only are they supportive of music, when COVID's not going on, but when COVID was going on, and our friend Joe Kukla had the big old stage, the trailer. They pulled a trailer stage around town.
During COVID.
And the bands would play, and they would just stop in a neighborhood and play for a little while, and then they would move along, and Spirit Hounds would throw a little liquor toward the band and help them out and I don't know, maybe even some money. I can't remember. I think
it was fabulous. We were all feeling the craziness of COVID, and then Joe Kukla would ride back on the back of a big old truck. That was so great.
Yeah, and Larry and the whole crew.
Yeah.
I mean, that was really, really cool of them to do that. So, yeah, it's a nutty little town you moved to, so you're kind of stuck here now. So.
Well, in Evans Street, we got to give props to Evans Street. Was always a stop, and it was
Evans was always a good stop. We have a bunch of musicians on this street and a bunch of artists, Kaylee Sue and Evan Grace and all kinds of folks on this street. So it's always been a good stop. We think we'll have to do it maybe this summer. We'll do a tubing.
Oh, that'd be awesome! Yeah,
maybe tubing and maybe a stage and yeah. So any other tunes come to mind that swing your boat?
How about let's do Mississippi Delta Blues. I think it's on the 3rd page. It's an old time Jimmy Rogers song that it swings real nice. I learned it not too long ago when I was living in Louisiana, and it has a real good message.
Oh, we'd love that.
You got it?
Yep.
Cool. And it's not too quick either. It's in B flat. 1, 2, 3. Wait. I'm sorry. In the midst of telling him it's in B flat. Okay. 1, 2, 3. With friends around and even pals I know are true. Still I'm lonely, homesick and blue. There's no one can cheer me when I'm alone, longing for my Mississippi home. Way down on the Delta, on the Mississippi shore, in that muddy water, I long to be once more. Midnight shadows creep about, and the whippoorwill calls. You can hear old Pappy shout, come on in here, y'all. Way down on the levee, strolling in the pale moonlight, you can see those steamboats and the fields of snowy white. Got a feeling I can't lose that muddy water in my shoes when I get the Mississippi Delta blues. melodies. Swanee River and Old Man Joe. That sweet magnolia perfume floating on the breeze. Way down south is where I long to go. Way down on the delta, on the Mississippi shore. In that muddy water, I long to be once more. The evening shadows creep about, and the whippoorwill calls. You can hear old Pappy shout, come on in here, y'all. Way down on the levee, strolling in the pale moonlight, you can see those steamboats in the fields of snowy pine. I've got a feeling I can't lose that muddy water in my shoes. When I get those Mississippi Delta blues. Brian, I think that might be all I have prepared for today.
That's quite all right. Thanks for coming up, man. That was really fun.
Thank
Rob
you very
Pate,
much. Thank you, Brian.
everybody. Rob Pate, Ian Brighton, Brian. I'm spacing your last name. Pierce. Yes. And I want to thank Volume.com for supporting us to do this whole thing. They give us a little support, and we can bring musicians in and try to learn about them and hang out and play music and eat tacos. It's not a bad world.
It was a joy.
Thank you, Brian.
Right on. Well, thanks you guys for everything, and I want to thank James Tuttle for doing sound tonight. He's filling in for Randy, who's off to Japan, and Christy Rose for doing video as always, and my wonderful wife Jessie Garland for helping us out and getting everything going. And that was really, really fun. It was really refreshing, and I look forward to seeing you around. Maybe I'll stop in the jam, play some brushes or something sometime.
Please do.
So any other gigs you want to plug while you're here? Any other things going on?
Yeah, I play with a cool band out of Boulder, Voodoo Lily. We play at the Boulderado the first Saturday of every month. We're playing at the St. Julian on Friday.
Okay.
It's like it's real upbeat, like New Orleans music. We play some mambos. It's a fun band to come dance to.
Awesome. Well, we'll look for that, and we'll see you around. Thanks for coming up.